Most men believe that to win a woman's heart, one must always be overly nice and agreeable. However, science reveals something counterintuitive. Women are often more attracted to men who maintain emotional independence and exhibit alpha-beta dynamics, rather than those who are perpetually available. This means that being overly nice might actually reduce your SMV, sexual market value. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal exclusive insights into why this happens, breaking down the science behind attraction and debunking common myths about dating and relationships. If you've ever felt confused about why your genuine attempts to connect have left you feeling more isolated, you're not alone. Many men express frustration when their relationships don't flourish despite their best efforts. Most men never discover that common dating advice, like always being available or displaying intense interest, often backfires due to misunderstandings about frame control and hypergamy. What you're about to learn is secret knowledge that few possess, explaining why so many men face repeated heartbreaks and unfulfilling relationships. This insight will demystify your dating experiences and give you a new perspective on attraction. Myth number 1. Always be nice and available. This advice stems from a well-intentioned belief that niceness equates to being a good partner. However, in practice, this often leads to men being taken for granted. When a man is always available, the scarcity principle loses its effect, and the woman may perceive him as lacking social proof or self-worth. Transitioning to our next myth, show intense interest when annoyed, which logic suggests would make a woman feel admired. Paradoxically, this often pushes women away, as they prefer calculated interest that signifies pre-selection and discernment. For instance, a man who bombards a woman with attention might seem insecure rather than valuable, undermining potential attraction, as understood through the framework of social value processing. Lastly, myth number 3, treat her like a queen. While treating a partner well is fundamental, elevating her to a pedestal can lead to toxic dynamics. This advice originates from a chivalrous intent, but often creates an imbalance. When a man sacrifices his own needs and interests, it can diminish his SMV, pushing the relationship into an unhealthy dynamic where hypergamy takes precedence. This sets the stage for understanding the deeper scientific explanations. To understand attraction, we must delve into the evolutionary basis, where basic sexual selection plays a crucial role. Men have historically competed for access to mates, signaling reproductive value through displays of strength and social status. These dynamics are mirrored in modern dating scenarios where perceived SMV guides interactions. Moving to neuroscience, attraction is deeply connected to our brain's reward systems. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and reward, fuels attraction when social proof and perceived value trigger neural reward circuits. These unconscious mechanisms govern much of human interaction, often sidelining conscious thought processes. But this is just the surface of what you need to know. The science behind this is even more fascinating. In the next few minutes, we'll dive into the neurological mechanisms that affect relationship dynamics. What you'll discover next will change your perspective on how these forces shape our interactions. Prepare yourself for a deep, scientific analysis that unveils the hidden layers of attraction, offering practical strategies for success in this complex field. The theory of sexual selection, as proposed by Darwin, offers insight into how intrasexual competition and intersexual selection govern mate choice. Intrasexual competition involves direct competition between males, where traits like aggression and physical strength can enhance mating success. Male competition mechanisms such as displays of dominance or resource acquisition cater to female choice criteria that often prioritize stability and genetic quality. In modern times, these dynamics manifest in status-seeking behaviors and social dominance in various forms. Ancestral reproductive strategies reveal that hunter-gatherer societies depended on a balance between resource provision and genetic quality. This division influences short-term versus long-term mating strategies, guided by the parental investment theory, which posits that different levels of investment from males and females contribute to distinct mating behaviors. Risk-taking behaviors, often associated with male attraction, may be rooted in evolutionary pressures to showcase genetic fitness. What's fascinating is how these ancient patterns continue to shape contemporary mating psychology. In today's urban environment, Adaptations emerge where these intrinsic preferences are expressed through digital engagement. The surge of social media and dating apps amplifies status signaling evolution, with behaviors on these platforms reflecting deep-seated evolutionary drives. Now that we understand the evolutionary foundation, we transition to how neuroscience illuminates these patterns. Dopamine pathways play a pivotal role in the reward systems that influence attraction. These pathways are involved in the reward prediction error, a mechanism that helps the brain evaluate unexpected rewards. Such dynamics in attraction can mimic addiction-like patterns, where dopamine surges follow new romantic encounters. This is enhanced by variable ratio reinforcement that keeps individuals engaged through unpredictable reward schemes. Over time, people may develop tolerance and escalation, seeking increased stimulation to evoke the same attraction levels. The neurological mechanisms reveal that social value processing involves the prefrontal cortex, responsible for evaluative thinking, interfacing with circuits that recognize social status. Mirror neurons activate during social interactions, enabling individuals to understand others' intentions and feelings rapidly, often below conscious awareness. Cognitive biases, including confirmation bias, shape attraction by predisposing individuals to interpret information in a way that supports their existing beliefs about a potential mate. Oxytocin and vasopressin are critical in attachment mechanisms, facilitating bonding by activating the attachment system. Secure versus insecure attachment patterns significantly impact relationship stability. Neuroplasticity allows relationships to modify brain structures over time, influencing attachment styles. This scientific understanding translates directly to the way individuals build and sustain connections. The practical implications of this research show a basis for actionable guidance. This scientific understanding translates directly to observable behaviors. In evolutionary psychology, the relevance of status can lead to individuals subconsciously mirroring high-status figures, embedding these traits into interpersonal interactions. Real-world validation examples show how increased eye contact and body language serve as status signals. Observable patterns emerge in group dynamics, where social cues drive male-female interactions. Theory validation scenarios demonstrate notable behavioral changes before and after awareness of these principles. For example, adjusting body language based on perceived social value can lead to predictable female reactions, evidenced by increased responsiveness and engagement. Neurological response patterns, including stress reduction in familiar pairings, provide measurable outcomes. What's fascinating is how these ancient patterns evolve into modern strategies for success. Preparation for practical strategies involves recognizing these neurological and evolutionary drivers as foundational. The bridge from theory to application is built by understanding the consciousness these concepts bring, setting the stage for actionable techniques. These mechanisms translate into specific behaviors that enhance interpersonal dynamics. I'll show you exactly how to use this knowledge in various scenarios to optimize social interactions and relationship opportunities. To embody an alpha posture, start by standing straight, with shoulders back and chest slightly out. This not only boosts confidence, but also signals strength. Use space occupation techniques by spreading feet shoulder width apart and filling your space comfortably, showing you're unafraid to take up room. For authoritative gestures, use deliberate movements like pointed hand signals. Confident movement includes smooth transitions between stances, exuding control over your personal space, embodying territorial body language, essential for dominance. Maintain eye contact for 60 to about 70% of the interaction to establish connection without intimidation. Vary intensity based on context. Soften during emotional exchanges. Intensify during persuasive points. Control facial expressions consciously. Maintain relaxed expressions to appear approachable yet authoritative. Awareness of micro-expressions often reveals underlying emotions, so read others carefully. Use gaze to signal dominance by slightly tilting chin to create the impression of looking down without overdoing it. Project energy by optimizing voice tone speak from the diaphragm for deeper, resonant sound. Charismatic presence is built through genuine smiles and controlled movements, commanding the room. Comes naturally when confidence is projected. Engage attention by varying vocal tone, volume, and incorporating pauses. Transitioning to conversation is seamless if your presence is felt, enticing others to engage without effort. Here's exactly how to implement this in conversation. Begin with high-value openers. Instead of generic questions, use statements or observations that demonstrate insight or humor. Curiosity-based approaches involve commenting on something unique about the environment or the person, sparking intrigue. Demonstrate status subtly by weaving in accomplishments naturally in conversation, and qualify your interest by pointing out traits you admire in others. Establish control early by guiding the conversational topics. Frame control means setting the terms of interaction. Start by defining the narrative subtly with leading statements. Maintain your frame by sticking to your tone and not swaying with others' suggestive shifts. When facing frame battles, assert your viewpoint calmly yet firmly without aggression, thus controlling reality perception around you. To create tension, explore sexual tension strategies by indirect compliments and observations, using subtlety to amplify interest. Push-pull dynamics are powerful, alternate between showing interest and playful teasing. Create an emotional roller coaster, mixing peaks of excitement with calm moments to hold attention. Escalate investment by gradually asking for deeper engagement. Setting the stage prepares you for advanced techniques. Interest testing is crucial for gauging attraction. Use compliance tests, like playful requests, to gauge if they are following your lead. Recognize IOIs such as positive body language or seeking proximity. Assess investment levels by noting their willingness to engage beyond surface interactions. Use qualification to draw out what you value in the other person, subtly requiring them to prove their compatibility. As attraction builds, look for escalation readiness, indicated by mutual eye contact and open body language. Managing emotional escalation involves setting a positive emotional state early on. Gradually build arousal through keynote escalation, starting with light, appropriate touches to create comfort. Expand their comfort zone by leading the interaction into unknown but safe territories, handling resistance by understanding boundaries and maintaining momentum. Value maintenance is paramount. Demonstrate SMV through storytelling or skill exposure to subtly highlight unique qualities. Use the scarcity principle by showing you value your time, making interactions feel special. Communicate options indirectly through language suggesting diverse social connections. Independence signaling shows self-sufficiency, enhancing appeal. This technique works because it triggers intrinsic desires for stability and autonomy. The next level of this strategy involves ethical practice and responsibility.